that you just came back in the third to close out that series to change?
I think that we had to make a choice to come out and play our best in the cold. It was like freezing, and everybody didn't, I guess, take their best game. So the third game, we had to make that choice, and we came back and ended up winning that last game. So yeah.
How does it feel to get your first conference series win?
It feels great. We're ready to come back and get another one against Texas.
It'd be big time against Texas.
Oh yeah, we're ready for it.
Longhorns?
I don't see a whole lot that we can't handle. I think we're well prepared. Coach T has done a great job at preparing us, and we're working well as a team right now. So I think we're going to come out and take the series.
Just kind of how does that, series win over the weekend help propel you into this next week?
It's huge. Like coming back from Oklahoma, we had a little downer, and then we came back against Iowa State third game and found our game again. So I think taking what we had that third game and bringing it into Texas is really going to motivate us. So.
You felt more balance on the offense and defense, especially in this last series?
Definitely. The second game, it was we were trying to find it, and then the third game we really balanced out. Our pitchers did a very good job at coming in and shutting them down, and our hitters, we had so many hits that game, and we were finding our rhythm back. So.
How happy are you with your own game at this point in the season?
Right now I'm happy with it. I'm still working on a couple things. There's always room for improvement, but right now I think I'm doing well, and I think our team's doing well, and we're working well together.
What do you think your team needs to do to be able to get the series win this weekend?
I think we need to stay up and keep our energy up and keep making the choice to, come out every day and, just battle and have that belief that we've been having this whole year.
Carly, obviously a close game in Game 2 at Iowa State, but what was the quick change that happened to get Game 3 back?
For Game 3, we just kind of met as a team that night and kind of talked about we just went back to why we chose Texas Tech and kind of went back to our roots a little bit. So we just decided that, hey, we're going to come out for Game 3 and we're going to play hard and just play our best.
Talk about Texas. Hopefully this year a little bit different than last. Why do you think it will be that way?
We just have a whole new group, and we have such a better culture than we have in the past, and we just keep building on it. So a lot of our players are feeling really confident, and we're just going to go in and compete really hard.
Talk about that culture and how you've seen it evolved, and who's kind of been the leaders of that.
Our staff for sure has promoted it the most, and then our leadership under it has as well. So we just kind of all have the same hearts, and we're all kind of going in the same direction. We love each other a lot, and so it's easy to play for the person next to you.
Talk about what Texas brings.
They have good pitching staff, which is not new for us, so we'll just go in and compete really hard at each pitch. And other than that, each team in conference brings its own game, so we'll just kind of go over that this week and focus on what we need to focus on and just prepare the best we can.
Do you think the Oklahoma series, even though it was a loss, kind of prepared you for other moments like this?
I do. I think a lot of our freshmen kind of got some playing time, and so it wasn't new for them going into Iowa State, and I think the more that you can get the jitters out, the better it'll be. And so we just kind of took that in and just did a good job encouraging them, and I think the more comfortable they get, the better they'll be.
Speaking of freshmen, we're starting to see you've got new players playing positions, but Peyton has started to make some appearances down in the outfield. Talk to us a little bit about what she's bringing to this team.
Peyton's been doing a really good job. She just comes out every day and just works really, really hard. She doesn't waste a day or waste a practice at all, and she kind of had a tough fall with some injuries and stuff, and so she's kind of just having a good attitude about it and just taking every opportunity that she gets. She's just doing a really good job in her role.
With those younger girls, how do you feel like your leadership has evolved, or how do you feel like you're kind of coming along as a leader? What do you do to kind of get them going?
Well, I just know what I needed when I was that age, and so it's easy for me to just be flexible with each personality and kind of just give each person what they need. Every person's different and every player's different, so you kind of just got to figure out what drives that person and then hopefully just encourage that and use that to their advantage.
What was it that drove you at that age?
I think just feeling loved and feeling cared about. Coach G did a really good job, and the staff did that well, and I had some leaders above me that just did that and made me feel the most comfortable I could, and there wasn't jitters around my teammates, and I think when you feel nervous around your teammates, it just adds a whole new level to just playing nervous. So for me, I just wanted to feel comfortable, and I did, so it was exciting.
So being a leader now, is there a sense of affirmation that you get, or you know that you're doing your job right from feeding off the other girls?
Yeah, we try to tell each other a lot what each person is doing right, and that's something that helps our team a lot, because how do you know that you're doing the right things if somebody's not affirming it sometimes? You know, sometimes you need that to encourage you a little bit. So we all try to tell each other, hey, you're doing a good job at picks on first base, or you're doing a good job in being aggressive in the outfield, or whatever it looks like. So it's not a rare thing to find compliments or encouragement within our team.
What will a series win, against Texas mean for this team going forward?
It'll be huge. It'll definitely just jumpstart the rest of our conference and kind of give us some encouragement that we might be looking for. And I think that it'll just get us on a journey, like feeling better about ourselves and feeling more confident about our game. And I think that that's the best that you could do just moving forward.
Coach Carly just came out and talked about how the culture has changed under some new leadership and just girls maturing and everything. How have you seen that develop and stick with it amongst these first Big 12 series?
I think you see our seniors, and Carly's kind of a part of that because she's a redshirt junior. They were here when our leadership wasn't as developed or wasn't as bought in. And so those kids have been through our program for 4 years, and they know what it takes and what it looks like, and what it is that I believe we require. And so it's easier for them, not easier, but like they've seen it play out over a multitude of years. And our young kids don't know anything different now besides great leadership, like just quality, giving, like whatever it takes, find a way leadership. And I talk to Jess and Carly and those guys so much for our freshmen and our sophomores. Like, you're just paving the way for them to only have quality experience that will continue to pay or play it forward.
Besides just leading by example, do you have any other examples of the way that you're just awed by how they kind of control and lead this team?
They naturally want to lead from example. And so, over the years, I've been telling them, like, you got to lead other ways. Like, people don't in general follow by example. They follow by buying into you and believing. And so I think that, like, they've had a total aspect of, like, servant leadership, serving them, being kind to others, really trying to put their arm around them and help them to understand they love them and they care about them, and therefore this is why I'm asking you to do X. And I think they've done a really, really great job with that. And that's harder to do. It's harder to do than just going out there and playing.
How much pressure does that take off of the coaching staff to not have to worry about that aspect?
It's huge. It's huge. Peers will listen to peers more than they're going to listen to their parents or to their adults. Like, they're going to listen to peers more. So we've talked about that so much. Like, peers are going to listen to peers, and if we can hold our culture from within, we'll be in a really great spot. And I think we do. I think we do hold each other accountable. I think we give each other grace. I think we're learning lessons together, and we aren't judging. Like, we're very much like, let's do this. We're in it together.
Let's talk about Texas. What do you see them bringing this weekend?
I think they have better pitching than they've had in the past. They're a brand new program in the sense of their leadership turned over, and they play different than they've played since I've been here. So I think it's good for our conference. I think they're going to pitch well. I think they're going to run well. They have multitude of weapons at the plate, so we're excited for the challenge. We're excited to be home as we face them and be able to be in our culture and in our environment and make it hard on them. It's going to be a great game.
Similar to Oklahoma, do you ever show film from last year as almost a measuring stick, as look at how much better we are this year and how much more we have to give?
Definitely not with Texas, because they're not the same. In their lineup, they only have like 3 kids that were there prior. Everyone else is either new or kids that they turned over to do different things. So with that, Bollinger will be the only thrower that we've seen before. And, I think Aaron got shook in that series, and I think we probably have talked about that with Aaron in the sense of, like, you got to always be composed. But other than that, like, this year has been a total different year for us, and so we haven't really lived anywhere else besides this year and what we're doing, what we're accomplishing, and who we are, who this team is.
After being competitive in that Oklahoma series, how big is it for this team heading back home to pick up a win at Iowa State, not just for this series, but moving forward in Big 12 play?
It's huge. It's huge for us to to make sure that this wasn't just an early start. I mean, I heard that so much, like, great start. I'm like, no, like, it's a great season. Like, we're having a great season, and it's not just about how we start. Like, we will finish, we'll run this course. And so I think that was huge for our kids to understand, like, this season is a grind, and it's long, and it's hard, and it's so easy to start hot and then fail. And I think, you know, in Iowa it was cold, it was hard, there was a lot of things we had to overcome, and we did. And so I think for our kids to come in this weekend, it's going to be warm, it's going to be exciting, we're going to have great crowds. Like, there's a lot more of things to look forward to, and just to understand that, like, we are a very good quality ball club. Like, we're 15 in the nation for a reason, you know, and that we need to make sure that we play like that always. And I think we didn't do that against OU. We did do that against Iowa State, and we will do that this weekend.
Speak a little bit about, you know, just the competitiveness within the conference. Now, you know, there aren't really days off, and every single game you have to come out and play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think Iowa State played really quality against us. I don't know that they've played like that all year. I hope they continue to play like that. I think our conference is very, very challenging. I'd love us to see us get 6 teams in, and it might not be this year, but I think it will be soon. I think we'll get 5 teams in this year maybe, and that would be really great for our conference. And you know, I think everybody is good or will play up at every single day. I just can't play up against Baylor, and you know, and they're starting to play under Coach McFalls. They're starting to play their quality of ball, and so, you know, I think it's so awesome for our conference, but I definitely think it's a grind. And I think if you want to be the best and you want to be prepared as you go postseason, like, you got to be in a good conference.
And your shirt says grit. Kind of, you know, speak to your team. What does that mean to your team, just, you know, every day at practice, you know, having
it means
that
challenge up. I mean, this is a grind. The season is a grind. Any sport will tell you that. Like, if you play for 4 or 5 months, like, it's hard, and it requires your heart and your soul and all your guts every day. And I think, you know, our young team has to keep learning that all the time. Like, it's going to require everything you have every day, and it's not going to be simple, but it's going to help you be ready. And so it's that. It's just digging deep, figuring it out, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. It's going to be hard, figuring out a way.